So you better come upstairs because Daniel is not well. Okay, he's not feeling well. So I'm the head coach. I've gone up to Daniel's room. What is the problem? He said, he's not feeling well. I said, how bad is it? He said, well, the dad, we called a doctor. We spoke to Frank Warren and they sent a Riyadh doctor who came to examine Daniel, which he did. He took a series of tests and then confirmed that yes, he's not feeling.
I think it's harsh. It is.
Your voice just broke when you said that.
Yeah, it is harsh, but it's not untrue. It's a real difficult one because I'll never want to disrespect someone that steps in the ring and has a fight and puts themselves in harm's way. And you have a right to be able to kind of look after yourself and protect yourself, especially now with Daniel. I think he's a dad now as well, so there's more consideration there. But the boxing community as a whole, they want you to live by the sword and die by the sword and go out on the shield kind of thing. And if you deviate from that in the slightest, they are quick on you and to, like you say, call you.
I haven't read, but I've heard people telling me, oh, he ducked him, he's scared. Hello, excuse me, a kid who went and fought Baby Miller, unbeaten fighter, destroyed him. Philip Hergovich, they said definitely not gonna beat Philip Hergovich, destroyed him. Anthony Joshua, they deemed it a grotesque mismatch, destroyed him.
Said what they told me when the doctor was there, and I was in there when the doctor was examining him, and the doctor said that he thought he'd broken his eye socket.
Latest reports suggest Daniel Dubois suffers a serious sparring injury, but nothing was officially confirmed at first. Now his own trainer Don Charles steps in and confirms the situation is real, with doctors advising Daniel Dubois not to fight. This creates doubt around the Fabio Wardley clash and raises serious concern over his recovery timeline.
And he said there was some redded inner ears, could be infection, whatever. I'm not a doctor. Took blood samples, urine sample. Again, within 20 minutes, he, from his findings, the results, he said, I recommend that he doesn't fight on Saturday. It's almost like our world had ended when he gave us that, when he said, I recommend that he doesn't fight. So you're the foolish one, don't fight. This is going to all the fighters out there. If you're feeling unwell, to the degree that you're not unwell, don't fight. Live to fight another day.
Fabio Wardley suggests Daniel Dubois has shown moments where he struggles under pressure, giving opponents a psychological edge. He implies fighters can target that weakness in preparation. This adds doubt around Dubois' mentality, while strengthening Wardley's confidence heading into any potential matchup between them.
If you're an opponent lining up for Fabio Wardley, you look at him and go, to make him quit, one, I don't know if it's possible, and two, if it is, it's going to be one hell of a challenge. With Daniel, you'll go into a fight with Daniel thinking, if I do some things right here, I've seen it not once, not twice, but 3, maybe even 4 times of him kind of tap out of the situation. So if that's in there, that's in there. You can get it, you can pull it out with someone. You just need to go about the right things to get it. So you're already giving your opponent a psychological advantage going into the fight, because whether you say, oh no, I'm over it now, or I'm past it, or I'm not going to do it, well, evidence suggests that actually the opposite. So yeah, it could be problematic.
Don Charles strongly rejects Fabio Wardley's claim and shuts down the idea that Daniel Dubois is mentally or physically avoiding anyone. He clarifies that decisions are made strictly on medical advice, not fear or hesitation. From his perspective, Daniel Dubois is being protected, not questioned. This directly challenges Wardley's narrative and shifts the focus away from weakness towards responsibility inside the camp.
By that concept that we may have avoided you for what? For what? No, hell no. This is the coach talking now with the coach's hat. No, you were not avoided. We merely pulled our fighter away from when doctors have recommended he doesn't fight. We pulled him off that.
Fabio Wardley suggests there is a deeper reason behind the situation. implying that Daniel Dubois may be avoiding the fight or prioritizing other opportunities. He questions the timing and motivation, framing it as a possible tactical or financial move. This keeps pressure on Dubois' camp while strengthening Wardley's belief that the fight is being delayed for reasons beyond injury.
It's a me thing. It's a you're ducking me kind of thing. Like there's a reason being behind it. There has to be, because once maybe and you go to
Adam Smith highlights the emotional and stylistic contrast in this situation, while also showing respect toward Daniel Dubois and his camp. He makes it clear that Dubois is going through a difficult emotional phase, which adds context to the injury situation. This shifts the narrative slightly away from criticism and more towards understanding the pressure and challenges inside his camp.
Go to try and climb back up again. Who did he lose to is the question. He lost to a generational great, somebody who's going to go down as one of the best to have ever gloved up, in the name of Alexander Usyk.
Frank Warren explains the real financial and professional impact of a fight falling through. He highlights how much effort and money goes into a full training camp, from coaches to nutritionists, making it clear that a cancellation is a huge setback. This adds another layer to Daniel Dubois' situation, showing that beyond injury concerns, there are serious career and financial consequences involved in any delay or withdrawal from a major fight.
He's a big fight. He's trained very hard. If you don't fight, you don't get paid. You imagine the cost involved in a training camp, booking places to set the camp up, bringing the sparring partners in, the nutritionists, the chefs, trainers and everybody, and you don't get paid. It's a massive loss. You can't insure it, or if you do, it costs a fortune to insure. But very, very disappointing.
Johnny Fisher comes in very direct, questioning Daniel Dubois' technical ability and suggesting he lacks real skill at elite level. He acknowledges toughness, but doubts whether that alone is enough. From a Fabio Wardley angle, this fuels the belief that Dubois can be broken down under real pressure and exposed when the level steps up.
Daniel Dubois, he just can't really get right. He has no real skill. Pretty durable chin. Art is kind of questionable. But
Eddie Hearn keeps things calm, but admits the situation is genuinely difficult. He avoids giving certainty, which only adds to the uncertainty around Daniel Dubois' condition. From Fabio Wardley's perspective, this sounds like hesitation from the other side, suggesting the camp is not fully in control of what happens next.
Well, we'll see what happens, but that's for them to overcome now, and it's a very difficult situation.
Johnny Nelson strongly criticizes the mindset involved, calling it foolishness and warning that boxing at this level demands discipline and control. He highlights the difference between street mentality and elite sport. In the context of Daniel Dubois, it indirectly adds pressure on his camp, while strengthening Fabio Wardley's position as the more composed and focused fighter in this narrative.
The sauce is good. The sauce is good. And so when I'm hearing these things, I'm like, nah. And so it's popping out left, right, and center. The sauce is good. And so to me, I just shook my head. And when I'd heard all this going on.
Liam Goff reports an injury, but remains uncertain about the exact details, which only increases confusion around Daniel Dubois' situation. The lack of clarity makes the whole case feel unstable and open to speculation. From Fabio Wardley's side, this kind of inconsistency raises questions about how serious and transparent the injury actually is.
Seeing that Atema suffered some sort of ankle injury, maybe I was just seeing things with that one, but he is injured. It's not really specified. I don't know why. I'm sure I saw it was ankle, but maybe not. Maybe I was just seeing things.
Frank Warren explains the strict medical checks involved, highlighting how serious protocols are being followed in Daniel Dubois' case. Everything has to be cleared and verified before any progress can be made. This confirms the situation is medically sensitive, and from Fabio Wardley's perspective, it adds weight to the idea that this is not a minor issue but a serious setback affecting fight plans.
Doctor examined him, gave him some medication, but the medication he gave him obviously had to be checked.
The way Plamines openly questions what is happening with Daniel Dubois, suggesting that something in camp looks off and potentially serious. He admits he is not a doctor, but still raises concern that the situation could affect Dubois' entire career trajectory. This kind of uncertainty only fuels more speculation around injury severity and recovery. From Fabio Wardley's perspective, This adds pressure because it paints Dubois as unstable physically heading into any potential fight. The concern is no longer just about one bout, but about long-term career impact. It increases doubt around whether Dubois can return at full strength.
Probably shouldn't be doing that, right? There he goes again. Now again, I'm no doctor, I don't know, but it does seem like that's a bit of an issue. And
Derek Chisora takes a very different angle and completely normalizes what happened in sparring, explaining that getting dropped in the gym is part of learning. He pushes the idea that mistakes in training are better than mistakes in a real fight. In the context of Daniel Dubois, this softens the narrative and suggests the incident may not be as damaging as people think. However, from Fabio Wardley's side, even if it is just sparring, repeated talk of being dropped still creates questions about durability and how he reacts under pressure in live fights.
Alexander usually gets dropped in sparring, but he's learning on the job. You'd rather do your mistakes in the gym than do them when you're fighting.
Eddie Hearn highlights how structured sparring camps have played a major role in improving performance, stressing consistency and high-level training partners. He suggests that development comes from time in the gym and quality sparring rather than shortcuts. For Daniel Dubois, this reinforces that his progress depends heavily on training environment and preparation. From Fabio Wardley's perspective, this still leaves the question open about whether Dubois can maintain that improvement under real fight pressure, especially if injury setbacks continue to interrupt his momentum.
Fight was sparring. You know, it's the first time where we consistently had 7 or 8 guys in camp, living in camp, training with him day in, day out. And it made a big difference in the fight. So I think he knows that the way that he's going to improve is time in the gym and also the quality.
Lawrence Oakley keeps things realistic, stating that being dropped in sparring does not define a fighter, and many champions recover and still win at the highest level. He focuses on resilience and the ability to bounce back mentally. In Daniel Dubois' case, this helps balance the criticism by framing setbacks as part of the sport. However, from Fabio Wardley's viewpoint, repeated mention of knockdowns and sparring issues still builds a picture of vulnerability that opponents could aim to exploit in a real fight scenario.
Think of the fight. Getting dropped, once again, it's not the end of the world. People get dropped in fights and still win them. Getting dropped in sparring is what it is. I mean, you just got to be able to dust off and kind of.
This fight now sits in complete uncertainty, where every update is shifting the entire picture around Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley. Dubois' injury talk has taken over the narrative and turned a massive heavyweight clash into a question mark, while Wardley keeps building confidence off every doubt being raised about his opponent. If Fabio Wardley gets a fully fit Daniel Dubois, he walks in believing the weaknesses spoken about in camps and interviews are real and exploitable through pressure and pace. But if Dubois returns fully recovered, it flips instantly because his power and size only need one clean moment to end things at elite level. Mentally, this is becoming just as important as physical condition, with Wardley looking like the fighter feeding off belief and momentum, while Dubois is under pressure to prove he is still at world level after setbacks. In reality, the fighter who controls nerves and timing on fight night will control everything, because this is not just about skill, it is about survival under pressure. Drop your prediction in the comments and tell us who you think wins this heavyweight clash, Fabio Wardley or Daniel Dubois, and make sure you subscribe for more updates as this story develops.